Have you ever stood in a shop, torn between buying a snack or saving that money for something bigger later? Or watched your family choose between a holiday and home repairs? These everyday decisions are more than personal, they reflect a universal truth: resources are limited, needs are endless. And that's where economics begins. Welcome to Chapter 1, Introduction to Microeconomics. In this video, we'll explore how economies and individuals like you and me make choices, balance needs, and shape the world around us. Let's dive into the heart of how societies function through production, consumption, and exchange. Now, let's imagine a small village. A farmer grows corn, a weaver spins cloth, and a teacher shares knowledge. But here's the twist: none of them has everything they need. Each of them relies on exchange. The farmer trades corn for cloth. The weaver exchanges fabric for food. And the teacher earns money to buy both. This is what we call a simple economy, where each individual uses their limited resources to produce something useful and trade it for what they lack. But here's the catch: resources, like land, tools, and labor, are scarce. No one has everything, and no one ever will. So, what do? We choose. We prioritize. And we give up something to gain something else. That's economics in action. Even nations face the same question: do we build more roads or more schools? More hospitals or more fighter jets? Economics helps us answer those questions, one choice at a time. Here's a big question: if resources are limited, how do we decide what to do with them? Every economy, big or small, must solve three central problems. First, what to produce and in what quantity? Do we grow more food or build more smartphones? Do we prioritize highways or hospitals? Second, how to produce? Should we use machines or hire more workers? Should we invest in clean energy or stick to conventional methods? And third, for whom to produce? Who gets what? Does everyone get a fair share, or does wealth decide access? These are the fundamental economic problems, and every country, every policy, every budget starts right here. The production possibility frontier: economics in action. Imagine you're running a small country with limited land, labor, and machines. You can either grow corn or produce cotton, but not unlimited amounts of both. This trade-off is shown using the production possibility frontier, or PPF, a curve that tells us what combinations of goods we can produce efficiently. Let's say, if we produce more corn, we must produce less cotton. That's called the opportunity cost, the cost of choosing one good over another. Any point on the curve? That's efficient use of resources. Any point inside the curve? That means underused or wasted potential. So, PPF isn't just a graph, it's a powerful decision-making tool for economies everywhere. How economic activities are organized: a market versus government. So, who decides what gets produced and how? In some countries, the government makes those decisions. This is a centrally planned economy. Think of post-independence India or 20th century China, where the government allocated resources to achieve goals like education, health, or defense. In contrast, there's the market economy, where buyers and sellers interact freely. Prices act like signals. When demand rises, prices go up, producers respond, and markets adjust on their own. Visual: one-liner, split screen showing a government office on one side and a market street on the other, labeled plan versus market economy. Most countries today, including India, are mixed economies, where the government and the market share the responsibility of shaping the economy. Positive versus normative economics: describing versus advising. Let's pause for a second. Are we just describing the economy or are we judging it? That's the difference between positive and normative economics. Positive economics tells us what is, like, unemployment is at 7%. Normative economics asks, what should be, like, the government should reduce unemployment. Both are important. One gives us the facts. The other helps us make decisions. Microeconomics versus macroeconomics. Two views of the economy. Economics has two lenses. One zooms in, the other zooms out. Microeconomics looks at the small picture, how a consumer decides what to buy, or how a firm sets prices. Macroeconomics sees the big picture, things like inflation, unemployment, or the country's total income. In this book, we'll focus on microeconomics, the building blocks that shape the economy. Summary and real-world connection. So, what have we learned? Economics begins with choices, what to produce, how, and for whom. It teaches us how to think about scarcity, trade-offs, and decision-making, whether it's a farmer in a village or a finance minister in a capital city. And as you dive deeper into microeconomics,
you see how these basic ideas shape everything from shopping decisions to national policies. Stay curious because economics is all around you.
Microeconomics versus macroeconomics. Two views of the economy. Economics has two lenses, one zooms in, the other zooms out. Microeconomics looks at the small picture, how a consumer decides what to buy, or how a firm sets prices. Macroeconomics sees the big picture, things like inflation, unemployment, or the country's total income. In this book, we'll focus on microeconomics, the building blocks that shape the economy.